Welcome to this GDevelop 5 game development stream. Let's continue with our game. So today we would like to make a save and load system, and so let's do it in an external event, right? Because we will be using that to save and load script many times at many places in our game. So click to add an external event, and let's choose the scene first. First I will just use the main menu, right? And let me change the name of this event to, I think I will call it save event, and let's open it. Save event. This event, when it will be called, it will save our data to the disk. So let's create some event. In condition, there should be no condition right now. Add an action, and I believe the saving function is in storage. Write a value, write a text, read a value, read a text. Okay, storage and files. Open a URL or file. Network. I think that was the one. But let me just check out. Uh, uh, yeah, that was it. File system. Delete a file. Load a text from a file. Load a scene. I can do these, but I don't want to do that. I think this was the one. I will, you know, write a value. Write the result of the expression in the stored data in the specified element. Specify the structure leading to the element. Example, root level current. Spaces are forbidden in element names. So storage name. I believe this is the name of the file in which our data will be stored. So let's type something, I don't know, soul hunter save file, and group. What group should I put here? Group. I wonder if I need to put some group expression. Oh yeah, group. I think yeah, no. I think I will have to put the variable name here for group, I guess. Uh, just type. I will just type L. No, not L. Point like this. And in the expression, I will type 12. So soul hunter save file points and 12. Yeah. Let's try. I'm just seeing if it saves at all. So I saved something some in Soul save file. Okay, and now I'll make a load event. Let's rename it to load event. Okay, and let's open it. I will choose the scene where it should work. Main menu again. Okay, let me write a load script. Storage. Read a value from Soul Hunter save file, and the value name was points. And oh wait, in variables, that is, in which variable should I store this value? I guess, yeah, in variables. In variables. Can I not save it in other global variables? Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, no. Cool, it's cool. So I will just add a variable here. And why can I add a scene variable? I think this scene variable will be added in the scene main menu. I guess that's what will happen because it is attached to main menu. So let's add a variable. Just call it temp points, temporary variable to hold the points. Like just type it temp point. Okay. And I believe this temp points variable will also be present in main menu. So let's check it and verify our uh, theory. So go to main menu and see if there is a variable called temp points. Yep, there is temp points. So I saw edit scene variables and temp points is here. We created this variable from inside the load event, but because load event is attached to main menu, that variable got got made in the main menu as well. So that's okay. That's good. That's good. So now I will just load the points from Soul Hunter save file. Soul Hunter save file. Soul Hunter save file. Why do I feel like it's a wrong spelling? No, it's okay. It's correct. So I will save it in temp points, whatever it will be. Right. And then I can write a script, another one, to assign value of a global variable, that is points. Choose an operator equal to and type variables, scene variable, temp points, and now points will be assigned to temp points. So that's how we can load the data from our save file. At this moment I am just testing if it is working properly or not. So 12 will be right. It should show us 12 points. And when we load, or should I put this in the global coins variable, because I will be able to look at the coins variable in the upgrade screen coins. Let me do it for coins just to see how if it is actually being saved and loaded. And now in main menu events, let us add a save and load link. We will add a link to these two. Let me first add a link to save, which is a link. Include events from, enter the name of external events. I will enter save event. So first save event will happen, and after that load event will happen. Also I can do this, add an event, bring it here, and make it so that it is run when at the beginning of the scene. So this event will run at the beginning of the scene, and we will just put this slide it here, so that this event and this event becomes a sub event of this event. So when this event will run, when this condition will be true, that is beginning of the scene is true, then these two events will start running. That's, I believe that's what should happen, right? And then what will happen is that we will save 12 in our save file, and then we will load 12 from our save file and put that number 12 in the coins variable. Although we said that it is points, I'm just putting it in the coins variable because I can actually see the coins variable right from the main menu, right? So I also have to make a functionality where we can see both the variables, but right now we can only see the coins variable by going to the upgrade screen. So let's test it out. 12. That's good. So we can see that our value is being saved and it is being loaded properly. So that's pretty good, right? And I uh, want to do something else also. I wonder if I should just use external events or I should use a behavior, functions and behaviors, because that looks like a better option. So let us explore that option and see what we can do there. This is okay, but because it uses a scene variable, this scene variable may not be present in every scene, and I don't want to take the hassle of making all these variables, because we will want to save we want to save we want to save all this, and we will not be making all these variables again in every scene. That will be bad. We won't be able to do that, right? We just want these variables to be updated every time we load something, we save and load something, right? Now let me add a function first. This is a button extension. I will add a save and load extension. Save and load extension. Okay. Button extension is for functionalities related to buttons, and this is for functionalities related to saving and loading. So just open it by clicking it once, and I think I will edit extension options. I can export this extension. Save and load extension. Use this extension to implement saving and loading data for your game. Use this what what happened extension to implement saving and loading data for your game. Uh, that's what it is. Version 1.0. Save, 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 load. Okay, that's okay. We'll save and load extension. Just close it. We have that was all the options that we could configure, right? Add a new function. So let's add a new function. That should be an action. Like 1 minute. What was that? I didn't read it. Use life cycle functions. What's this? Oh, this. On first scene loaded. Events that will be run once when the first scene of the game is loaded. The first scene. Events that will run once when a scene of the game is loaded before the scene events. So that's also a good one which we can use. Events that will be run at every frame. Oh, before these events will run before the events of the scene, and these events will run after the events of the scene, but they will run every frame. On scene pause, and this will run whenever the scene is paused. So this is also very useful. On scene resume, this will run when scene is resumed. On scene unloading. Okay, this will run when a scene is being removed from memory, when a scene is being closed. Suppose we are exiting a scene and going back to some other scene, and then this function will run. So these are pretty useful. I think I will just use this simple one action. I will call it something function, save function again. I will call it. Click on it and see what's here. Action, save the game. Use this to save the game. Game, save, applied. I have some parameters which I can add if I want to add, but I don't want to add. So in this one, I will just save the same thing which I did here. Let me just copy this and let me just paste it here. Okay, something got saved. Cool. And now loading. Let's add a function for loading. Now this one can be a little bit tricky because it for loading it requires that we add a scene variable. It is not what we want to do at all. Okay, let's see if we can do it without scene variables. Uh, let's go there. Action load the game. Use this to load the game. Game load applied. Okay, cool. I have some parameters which I can add. Click to add a group, object group. I can add objects in this group, but I do not want to do that right now. Wow, delete. Okay, let's add an action. This action should load the game. Storage. Uh, Load the storage from memory so you can write and read it. Oh, you can open and write without using the action, but it will be slower. If you use the action, do not forget to unload the storage from memory. Oh, uh-huh. Oh, I see. I can do this and I can read a value also, but I have to use a scene variable to assign that value to something. That's kind of little bit complicated, I believe. Clear a storage. It will clear and all the data will be removed, so we don't want to use that. Delete an element. We can delete one element. We don't want to do that really. This is interesting. uh, I think I will do that in save one first. I will add this storage, load the storage. I will type soul hunter save file and I will do okay, and I will do it before I write. I loaded it, I wrote some data, and then I will close it. Close the storage, which is soul hunter save file. Soul hunter save file. I loaded it, wrote some data, closed it. Cool, nice. Go to load function and do the same. I I guess I guess we should do the same. Don't you think? I will now load the storage, and that is soul soul hunter save file. Hunter save file load. And now I want to load the uh, variables, all the variables which we have assigned, all the variables which we will save. I want to read a value, but it seems soul hunter save file, it seems group is points. It seems that I need a scene variable to store this. uh, Read the value saved in the specified element and store it in a scene variable. Specify the structure leading to the element. Spaces are forbidden. Is Can I not save it? Save that data. Put that data in some just global variable. I guess that should be something should happen, right? Structure value of a global variable. Hmm, I guess I save and load extension. Oh, this is what we made. This is what we made right now, and this is something that is showing. Yeah, button extension. Okay, cool. Loop a video. Okay. So what this is saying is that you cannot load it like this. We have to use scene variables to load it, to load the data, and therefore, can we make a scene that runs for just a moment, loads the data, and puts it in global variables, and then starts the game? We can do that, right? We can create an empty scene that does the loading and puts the data in the global variables, and then start the game, start the main menu. I think we can do that. So just click on OK. This is not going to work, of course, because we don't have a scene variable. This is not a scene at all. This is an extension. And let it be. Close it. I think we'll delete it. But first, we will not do this in main menu at all, right? Although we have done it. For loading, we just need to load everything once, and therefore we will not have to do it all the time. First, let me delete this and save and close main menu. Okay, wait, remove that variable from main menu. We close these also. First thing, let us delete this. We don't need it. Delete. Okay, external layouts. Let me add something and see. No, we don't need external layouts. External events, we need external events actually, and we need a new empty scene which will just be used to load the game. We can save the game from anywhere, but we can only load it from within that scene, I believe, because we need a scene variable to store loaded data. Need to add a scene and rename it data loader data loader. That's all. Data loader. Cool. Empty scene. It does not have anything, right? And one more thing, can I copy the variables from global variables and paste them in the empty scene? I just choose all of them. I have to choose all of them manually. Okay, cool. We have lots of variables, lots and lots of variables. Okay, I copy them now. This is a copy command, right? Yes, I copied them all. Now I will cancel and I will go to my scene and edit scene variable, and I have the paste function. I pasted it and I got everything, all the variables in my scene. It's cool. Now click on apply. Now in data loader I have all the variables from the global variable section. I hope I do not need to add more variables in this. I think we need to add one more variable, and that is no, a few more variables actually. Let me add them because I also have to add them in the data loader. So these variables will be useful for networking purposes. We will be storing the player data on some server and letting them make an account, letting them have a username and all these things. So we will need to save that in the file also and in the server also. And of course we need global variables for that, for storing them. First thing that we will do here is that the first variable which we should add here is the email. It will be empty. The user does not have to create an account necessarily. It will not be compulsory to create an account, but they can create it if they want to participate in the leaderboards, right? That will be very something. It will add a social element to the game. That's what will happen. Name, you can write type the name, or instead of name type a username. Why will you need a name, right? You don't need names, we need usernames. It's a game, so there's no need of name. Now what else? uh, what else? Password. We need to store the password in the game file for a reason, for some reason, because we will be using uh, REST protocol, REST API in order to do our request and fetch data from the server. And in REST, what we do is, I mean, that's a different kind of topic, but we will discuss that also soon. For that, we need to, there is no session that is managed in REST. It is stateless, which means that whatever data, whatever credentials you send to the server will just decide, okay, I received these credentials, so I have to fetch this data, right? There are no states. If we don't use REST, if we use something else, for example, SOAP, which is called SOAP, then it will have some states, right? Okay, right now my transaction is at state 1. Then if the user sends some data, then I will go to state 2 or 4. But if I am at state 3, then I will not go to state 2 or 4 with the same data. So it's kind of a networking concept, but we will discuss that also soon when we do the networking thing. Email, username, password. What else do we need to take care of? Oh yeah, profile picture. Profile picture, which we will not ask them to upload something. We will just put some little icons, like you can see in the Steam forums. You have predefined icons for the forum of that game. Similarly, we will have some predefined icons, and the user can just choose which one they want. We will not let them upload images, because that will just be too much work for us, right? Yeah, and too much load on our database. Profile picture, again, just do this right now. Okay. Email, username, password, profile picture. Do we need anything else to take care of their account? I can't think of anything else right now, so that's good. I will apply, and I will open it again, and I will just select these 4 and copy them and cancel, and go to my data loader scene, and just paste these 4 and apply. Cool. So we have every global variable in the data loader, and now we will make an external event. We have external events. I wonder if I can link them to some other scene. I can't. So I will just delete them and make them again. So just delete this, and then delete this also, delete this, and remove that variable from main menu. We don't need that. We were just testing whether our functions are working or not. Delete this, apply, and now create two events and rename them. First is save event, and the second is uh, load event, save event. Let me go to save event, and in this event, uh, do we need to also make a data saver screen? I don't think so, because we can just save the global variable. We don't need to really, we can do it from any scene if we want. For the purpose of keeping it all consistent, I will make a data saver, but we don't need to put any variable inside it. Data saver, just to keep it consistent. I believe you can attach that data saver to any scene, but let's not do that. Just keep it uh, you know good and clean, we have a data saver and we have a data loader, so it's metrical. I will associate data saver with the save event and just add an event and just go to here storage, write a value. First I will load a storage, uh, save, oh sorry, tool. I think I should copy this tool, enter, save. I will copy this because I want to use it at many places. I loaded it. I will now write a value. Group. I guess it's really everything, right? I mean all the global variables. This will just give me the text of the global variables, which is not what I want. Just call it points. Let me see uh, all the variables really. Can fire bullet firing cooldown, total number of ghosts on screen, and all that. I don't need to do this. Save this. Can fire bullet. What is the expression which we will give here, which is the value of the global variable can fire bullet? Okay, we saved this in a save file. Cool. Copy this and paste and keep pasting for a long time because we need to save a lot of things. Can we not iterate? Yeah, we can. For each object we can do some action. I wonder if we can use that to do something. So let me just delete them by shift selecting it. Oh, shift select all of them and delete it. I wonder if I can do something for each object. Click to choose for which object this event will be repeated. Okay, are you serious? Only I cannot use my variables. Okay, that's a kind of a limitation. JavaScript code. You can add JavaScript code. I won't recommend to do that. That will don't do that. Uh, repeat while. Can I not iterate through the variables? Iterate. I guess I can't do that. Okay, we have tried everything. I guess you will just have to do it the brute force way. I think there may be a better way of doing this, but let's just do it. We don't have several variables, so can fire bullet, can fire bullet. Now, what was the second variable? Bullet firing cooldown, total number of ghosts on screen. Cool. Then let's just type here. Global variable, bullet, wow, bullet firing cooldown, and here also bullet firing cooldown. Okay, I believe you know what I am doing. Total number of ghosts on screen. Total number of ghosts on screen. Making a lot of variables is also not a good thing. Total number of ghosts on screen. This will increase a lot of code which we will have to write. So total number of ghosts on screen. Right. So like this, what I am going to do is just type down all these variables, all these variables. I will just type them all out in this one. That's what I have to do. So I think we have typed three of them, and there are still many left. Many left. So I will do that, but I guess uh, Let me do that. I cannot find any other way of doing this really. Points, coins, and attack power. I think I will fast forward this section. Points, coins. Wow, it should be points only. Point. Oh shit. It's points, and here coins, coins, coins. Attack power. Sorry, coins only. Points, coins, attack power. Coins, coins, attack power. Attack power. Now what is there? Ghost pawn next position, ghost pawn y position offset. Okay, cool. Ghost pawn x position, 8 position. I can save that, right? And then paste it here. Ghost pawn x position, pawn x position. Ghost pawn y position offset. Ghost pawn y position offset. Just save that. Copy it and paste. Ghost pawn y position offset. Few more, many more actually. Wow. Health damage cooldown can be damaged. I don't think I need to save all of them, but I'm just doing it because it's convenient. Because you don't have to, then you don't have to think which one you should save and which one you should leave. What was that? Damage cooldown, right? I guess it was to damage cooldown. And can be damaged, I believe. Can be damaged. Can be damaged player X, player Y. Okay. So I think I will do that, and you can just I will just pause the video. I will do that, and then I will resume it, because really it's just you just have to type. I think you can understand how to do it now, right? So yeah, let me do it. I will pause it now and do it. So now you can see that I have done written everything, written the save command for everything, for every global variable which I have here, right? So that's what I have done, and at the end I will now close my storage, close the storage, and that storage is soul hunter save file, right? So just type that. I hope you can do it. I mean, you just have to type down all your variables twice in this command and do it for all of them. I was trying to find a method using which we can loop through them, but I guess it's not there yet, maybe, right? It's not there yet, which is okay. Uh, it's good. Okay, fine. We just have to write it once. You don't have to write it again and again. It's a good thing. Now we have to do the loading. We have to write events for loading. So let's go there. External events, load event. Choose the scene and it will be a data loader. Right? For this it was data saver, and for this it is data loader. There are no events, so let's add an event without any condition. Just add the action, and we have to load. First we will open the storage, load the storage soul hunter save save soul hunter save file, and now we have to load. And we have already in our loader, data loader, we already have all the variables. So basically just where was it? Yeah, storage, read a value, read from soul hunter, sorry, save file, soul hunter save file, Group is the name of the variable. The first variable which we saved was, I think, can be damaged. I believe can be damaged. Damaged. Oh no, it's can fire bullets. You can just look at here, can fire bullets. You can just look at the variable list here. It's the same list which is present in the global variables, right? Although this is scene variables, but we have copied all the global variables into our scene, data loader scene. That's why we can see all these variables, and these are the same which are present in the global variable also. You can just look at the order and do it. You can do it out of order also. I suggest do it in order because that's better. That will make your code easier to understand. So just save can fire bullets, whatever is in this group, save it in the scene variable can fire bullets. Okay, and now I guess you know what we have to do. We have to do it for all the variables. And okay, let's copy this. Copy and paste and paste and paste a couple times. Do it and do and do it, do it, do it. Do. Now double click here and choose the second one, points, and type points here. Points and click on OK and go to this one. It's the same thing, coins, and type coins here. Ins coins, the same thing which we were doing in the previous one, almost the same. Attack power, you can just copy this and just paste it. That's better. It uh, will minimize the errors. And the third one is host pawn exposition. We don't really need to save this in a global variable, but let's do that. Right? If we start deciding what to save and what not to save, it will become very confusing because we will not know what we saved and what we didn't save. Then we will have to look at the save file all the time. If we save everything in the global variable section, that way we will know, oh, we have saved everything in the global variables. We don't have to think about what we saved and what we didn't save. That's why I'm saving everything, although we don't need everything, but still, let's just do it. Health. We are till health, and then damage cooldown. Copy this and then paste it here. Damage cooldown. So yeah, that's what I will be doing. I guess you can understand how to do that, and so I will be doing that for all the variables. I will now pause the video and do it myself, and you can do it yourself also because it's just repetitive task. So I'm going to do it now, right? And when I will have done it, I will continue the video. So now I have written this command for every variable. So what we have done here is that we have read the value from the file and stored it in our scene variable. So now we don't have any use for the file, so I will close the file, add an action again, uh, close the storage, and that is tool hunter save file. Tool hunter save file. Okay, I will close it. Now all the variables are in my scene variable, but I want to bring them in my global variables, right? And because scene variables will be localized to the scene, I want them all to be in my global variables. So now, okay, we will just add some events. Repeat event. Let me see what repeat. Choose how, click to choose how many times will be repeated. Not very useful. So let me now add an action here. Let me add a comment first. Add a comment. Comment. How do I add it? Yeah. Uh, Below this, we are saving, uh, assigning the global variables, the values read from the save file. Below this we are doing that. Just add an event and bring it below the comment. Uh, yeah. Now what we need to do is we need to transfer the value from the scene variable to the global variable. Global variable can fire bullet is equal to, and what is the other variable? Can fire bullet. Cool. This is a scene variable, right? Event here, event to value of a scene variable can fire bullet. Yep, the scene variable. Okay, okay, we have this value, and you may know what I'm going to do next. Copy and paste and paste and paste and paste and paste it all the times. This is the last time we have to do this exercise. I mean, writing the values for every variable. We did it in save event and we did it in load event, and we are doing it once more, and that's it. And after this we don't have to do this kind of thing. So just paste this many times as you may need, and let it be this much for now. And now double click. After can fire bullet, we have bullet firing cooldown is equal to variables, scene variable. The okay, this is bullet firing cooldown, but here our variables are, I think, a little bit out of order. So for bullet firing cooldown, choose bullet firing cooldown, which is all the way in the back. And delete this one. Okay, again do this for this also. Total number of ghosts on screen. Delete this. Oh well, wait. Delete this. Go here. Variables. Total number of ghosts on screen is here for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, and again, can fire bullet. Now points set to delete this, and variables and scene variable and points. Cool. So I guess you can understand how it will be done, and you will have to do it for all the variables, all the global variables which you have. So I'm going to do it now. I will pause the video and do it. You can do it yourself, and when I will have finished doing it, I will resume the video. So I have typed all this out, and so you you can also do the same, and I guess add some comment over here also, just to make it clear what we are doing. Yeah, over here. Below this we are reading the data from the save file and saving it in scene variables of a data loader scene. That's okay, that's good, right? Cool, amazing. uh, Here you can, we are saving, here we are loading, and these two are assigned to individual scenes, that is data loader and data saver. Although I admit that it will take some time to write this and this especially, and but what can we do? I tried to find a better way to do it, but I was not able to find it. You could have written a JavaScript code. Let me see. Okay, this is a JavaScript code. Can write it here, but I will not recommend that you do that. It will just make things difficult, right? Just now we have to actually see if it's working or not. So uh, what will happen is that, let me see if I can set a starting scene properties. Start project files. I should be able to do that. Scene properties. Let me see. Scene properties. Hmm. Okay. Wait. Whatever. Okay. Suppose I start in my data loader scene. I will see how to set the starting scene. Our starting scene will be data loader scene all the time. All the time. And in data loader events, we have to link the load event, right? So that we load our, our game. And let me add a new empty event. But wait, let if data does not exist, then it should not load, right? What will you do? Can I check whether something exists or not? I will add a condition here, and that condition will be if this file exists, existence of a group. Yeah, okay, group soul hunter save file. And if group I guess points is present, then everything is present, right? I mean, ideally, if points is present or any one of the variables is present, then everything is present because we are saving everything all the time. So just click on OK. If points exist, then it means that the save file exists, right? And after this event, this will happen. In this also, uh, should I just cut these? No, don't cut these. Uh, should I just assign it as a sub event? I think I should not do that. Let it be this way only. Yeah, let it be this way only because by default our scene has the default values in all the variables, right? In our scene variables also we have uh, all the variables, but they are at default value, right? And these default values are also present in global variables. So even if we are assigning the scene variables to global variables without opening the storage, suppose our storage is not present and we are opening the save file for the first time, we are loading it. If it's not present, it will not load, and it will store the default values of the scene variables into our global variables, which will also be fine. There will be no problem with that, right? Because both our scene variables and global variables are identical and they have the same default values assigned to them. So that's good. Let me just add a link to that event. This should only run once. So let me add this event and type and write at the beginning of scene, and then let me add a link and put that link as a sub event, and then enter the name of this load event. Load event will enable us to load the data. Okay, fine. After loading, we can just go to the main menu, scene, change the scene, main menu, stop any other pause scene. Yeah, okay. This scene is just a empty scene. It will not show up to the user. Or we can just, if you want, you can just put something here, loading data, and then it will go away and main menu will show. You can do that. I will do that. I will do that very quickly. uh, Black screen, add a black screen, type default, edit with Pascal. choose color white, bold, too big, right? That's good. This will call this event will run, and when it will have run, it will open my main menu. And for saving, let's also do that for saving. When we press on the exit button in main menu, when we press on the exit button, then our game should save. So instead of when we press on exit, instead of quitting the game, we will uh, you know change the scene. So let me delete this and let me go do the change scene. Change the scene to data saver. Stop any other pause scene because we are exiting the game. It will change the scene to data saver. Let me open data saver now. Data saver. And again here also you can add saving data. Let me add it very quickly. uh, black screen, black screen, default, edit with Pascal. So yeah, that's looking good. Data saver, in data saver this will also happen once, right? In data loader, yeah, okay, data saver, it will happen once at the beginning of the scene. Let me add a link and put it as a sub event to this event, and then save event. Okay, and after this save event, let me add another event, and this will just quit the game. Quit the game, nothing more. It will save first, save, and then quit the game. And this one, what will we really do? It will load and then start go to main menu. That's all. Let us now let us now uh, change the default value of coins to something 1000, and we have to do it here also and in the data loader scene also, because otherwise uh, this default value will go into the coins, right? Right, I guess uh, it should work, so we should test it out, I believe. Let's do it. But right now we have the save file already written, already there. So what should I do? Okay, let me just run. We will run data loader first and see what happens. Okay. Cool, it showed us data, loading data for momentarily, and then it showed us the main menu. It has 1000, which is cool. So that means that our save data was not present. But now what we will do is we will do some upgrades, and then we will exit, and then we will see, then we will load it again, and then we will see whether it you know uh, loads the data or not. So I will upgrade my health. Now my coins are this much and my upgrade is this, and this also. I upgraded 2 times. Okay, cool. So this is what my upgrade looks like. Let's see it's working or not. I'll go back. I'll come back here. It's still there. My coins are 600. It's still there. Okay, cool. Now I will exit. It exited. Didn't show me saving data, but I hope it saved. I hope saved. Right. Let me now load it. loaded, so it's working. That's very cool. 600 coins, all the upgrade. Oh, this one is not showing me. Maybe there is some error here, but uh, it is loading 600 coins. By default we have 1000 coins, right? But save data. So yeah, there are some little bugs. We will check them where it is not loading properly or saving properly. I guess it's somewhere here. Attack speed indicator, animation number, attack speed indicator, animation number. This looks good, and in data loader, load event, uh, attack speed. Oh yeah, attack speed upgrade. It should be attack speed upgrade indicator. This spelling is wrong. Upgrade indicator, animation number, and attack speed upgrade indicator, animation number. Now it should work. Attack speed upgrade indicator, animation number. That's okay. That's good. Now it should work. We'll test it out soon. And attack speed upgrade indicator. Let me test it. I think since I reset this scene, I guess it will reset the data also. But let's see what happens. The old one, which is good. I'll upgrade it now. Upgrade this also. 0 coins. Exit. And then load again. So yeah, 0 coins these are. So our save and load system is working. Now we just need to figure out where we want to put it, right? Where after dying, after the player character dies, or after we come to main menu, or after we unlock a stage, when do we want to save the game, right? We have to figure that out. So we will do that next time. Okay. Oh, and if you are enjoying this game development stream, consider joining me tomorrow as well. Thank you for watching.